I'm gonna explain this change to you. Gaming channel sucks. I can tell you that. So now I really am into geography. So I'm gonna do this passion. I'm into music and geography. If you want to listen to my music, go to Electrify Z2. I'm not gonna do the link in the description because I don't know how the heck they do that. So we're gonna do a scenario where the papal states never fell. Leave a comment of what scenario you want me to do next. So obviously this is where the papal states used to be. So this is my imaginary outline for where the papal states would be. So go to 1 pixel. So I'm gonna say that they are in the Rome Peninsula type thing. Obviously, this is a map of 1870, the year 1871, which is the 1 year after they fell. Immediately, the Catholic Church being back, they obviously wanted people to adopt it. So the people that used to have the Catholic Church as their adoption start joining, along with the British Empire, along with France and Austria, and the Austrian Empire, and Russia. They were begging Russia to join, but Russia just said, no, we are not joining. Yeah, this is my first time doing the mapping video, so the papal states being back, that obviously put Italy as their threat. So Italian soldiers immediately started marching towards the border to attempt to intimidate them back into joining. But the Catholics immediately started their uprising, and now we have the first ever alliance. Okay, we got our first alliance and anti-alliance. We have the Papal Alliance. These dudes right here. These dudes right here, they do not like the Italians because the Italians were threatening them by putting troops near their border. This immediately puts Italy at threat. They know that France, Austria-Hungary, Britain know that people are surrounded, so they decided to ask the papal states to please put down their arms, but the Vatican didn't listen, and the invasion was officially on. They started the invasion. They immediately marched towards their new capital of Venice right here. Venice is right here. So immediately, now the Austrian Hungarians started bringing in their troops, and it was getting extremely bloody with extreme battles as they march around the Alpine Mountains. Well, the Alpine Mountains run across here, so it wouldn't be really anything right here, but this is still, they're treacherous battles. They start moving in closer and closer to Venice, but then that's when the first ever resistance was shown. The Italians launched the invasion of Austria-Hungary. They immediately tried to target Vienna right here, so they immediately started trying to put resistance in, but it still wouldn't work for the Austrian Empire. I keep on saying Austrian-Hungarian, sorry. They start marching towards Vienna, but that's when they face an ambush, and with that ambush, they are now surrounded with troops trying to come in through here, but they're blocking them off with a huge force. They slowly start marching in as troop after troop died. And now over here, the Axis starts pushing in troops through here, trying to sneak around, but they are immediately noticed. But with the British, they rule the seas, so they attempt to send a navy around here, but they're intercepted and they're not allowed to go through here. That will put the Italians at an advantage because they know that the Portuguese and Spanish won't let the British through. So they immediately request them to join the alliance. And guess what? They decide to join. So now we have the Axis and the Allies. France is now surrounded, but that's not going to be enough to take out the Papal States. The Papal States ramp up their military spending as the British send their navy through into France, where the French carry out their journey to Corsica, and Corsica takes the stuff and brings it to the Vatican. So now the Vatican has ramped up military spending. They're able to now move quickly at lightning speed because their strategy is they don't carry giant supply trains. They don't, so they can move fast and can go to battle, run away, and then when they come back to fight them, they avoid battle, chase them to the other battle, and then now they're just encircled. That's their first strategy, but it doesn't really play out that way for them. They're able to push forward, but they eventually figured out that, and they now do their strategy back, which is not good because they now can mimic what they do, and it's not good for them because now they know their tactics. Their tactics is what they're keeping them alive, but now that they're doing it, they aren't able to carry it out because they're doing the exact same thing and not going to battle. So as they now move closer and closer, trying to get all the way to Naples, they're intercepted, and then they move around, they face battle, they go the other way, and now they enter themselves into the encirclement. But they move into the territory, wiping out a small army. They see the gunfire going on, and they immediately try to run away. They chase them down. Another army hears about this. They chase them down, and then now they're encircled. As they start moving in, they're hiding out in two barns, right here and right here. I don't know if y'all can see that, but it's clearly, yeah, there. Now they are moving in. Don't mind what I just knocked down. And now they're moving closer and closer into one barn was found, and then the last barn was burnt down. That was a crazy giant battle. But that's not the only thing that the Vatican could do. They reach Naples. They're able to reach Naples Peninsula. They go down until they reach the city. And then they start wreaking havoc. They turn allied. They got their own states right here. Yeah, don't mind why it's so bad. Hold on. Yeah, that looks better. That looks like butts. That looks like a butt. Okay, so now the Vatican, now seeing that the states are turning against them, they offered them to join the Catholic Church, and I'll cut the video and show you if they join. Yep, they join. Now they even have Sicily on their side. I don't know what this island's called, but it also joined. So now we have the Vatican being one of the most savage empires that I have ever done, and I haven't made another geography video, but I probably will. But so far, this is going to be probably the largest empire I will do for a while. But now face little to no resistance on the front lines. They aren't able to move here. They're getting blocked off. They aren't able to move here. They're getting blocked off. It's a lose-lose for them. But they still keep on fighting. It doesn't work. Because the only way they're able to get wins is trying to fight the Vatican only. If they fight the Vatican only, they're going to be pushed back. And if they get pushed back, they lose. I think you guys get it. It's just a lose-lose for every situation. Now they're pushing up in the front lines up here. Now they try to move their north strategy. They lose another battle, but they decide to make a tiny advancement right here to get them to run over here. And now they're able to move up again. They see that, they move back, and then they move again right here. So now we're trying to make arrowheads. They make another one, but this time it's going to the coast. They get intercepted by two Italian armies. And one of those are the Italian army protecting these two. So now they're able to move as fast as they can. They move at lightning speed because those are the strongest armies. And then now they're getting attacked and attacked and attacked. They keep on running. They keep on running all the way to Venice. I think Venice is right here. They immediately encircled the city. And now, being surrounded, they immediately sent all their naval armies over here. Thing is, if you don't have a navy, then what would you have? What would you seriously have? So now that they have no navy, they aren't able to guard their coast. Not able to guard their coast. You know what's happening. The British, because the Spanish are busy trying to help the Italians, they take that chance. They move around, they're not intercepted, and they're able to go directly through here, and they're able to move around here because they're friendly, and they're able to attack Venice too. And now Venice being surrounded, having no naval influence anymore because their entire navy was right here and they were attacked by the British. That was extremely bad for them. And now we have a papal-controlled Italy. The new borders are completely ridiculous for them. Now we have 2 Italian puppets. Right here is a puppet controlled by Austria. Nobody knows how they're able to defeat a strong country. But I'm now going to continue. So it's going to be a very long video. Now they want to control the Holy Land, but the Holy Land is controlled by the Ottomans. The Ottomans don't like Greece, and if they don't like Greece, they're going to send an invitation to form a crusade against the Ottoman Empire. This time the crusade is way larger, being all these countries inside of the crusade. Being all these countries must be so exciting to be literally ganging up against a country that's literally just being ganged up on by a billion, trillion, gazillion people. Oh, we're just gonna leave that undone because why not? Also, the Germans are inside of it too. So basically, almost the entirety of Europe is inside this one crusade. And they're all going up against these guys. Also in this universe, just kidding. But now we have this giant crusade. Russia, Germany, Austria, the Papal States, France, Britain, Norway, Sweden, Bulgaria, Greece, and Serbia. Oh, is that a Mitch's paint? Okay. The invasion starts with the Papal States sending out their military, which is surprising. They're sending their military around here. Immediately go over here to Cyprus. This universe, there's nobody controlling Cyprus, so they just invaded thinking with the Ottomans control Cyprus, didn't they? Okay, I'm just gonna pretend the Ottomans it previously used to be controlled by the Ottomans in this universe. So, attacking this colony, the Ottomans want to attack back, but they know they can't waste their time on a tiny island, that would be stupid because this will be their way to the Holy Land. It's now completely controlled by the Papal States. They release their navy to attack the Holy Land. They storm the beaches. They're not trying to get into battle right now. They're trying to move across a secret mission to control this entire coast. So they can control the largest amount of this coast, which is where the Holy Land resides on. And now the Ottomans figure out, but for some reason, Papal states just don't care. They're moving further and further. They're not even storming beaches anymore. They're just going full-blown invasion. They haven't even engaged in battle yet. They're just attacking territory. And now, facing their first resistance, they decide to move their army right here, which is right here is where they're being attacked. Move around here, but then they catch on to the encirclement maneuver. They try to free themselves, but they're immediately blocked in. Now being locked in, they face a brutal loss, because this is the largest land army that they ever deployed, with over 70,000 troops inside this one tiny army. 70,000 troops in this tiny territory. Okay, so now being absolutely wrecked currently, because how much military forces that are being deployed. They're losing territory after territory. And now, right now, they are being wrecked by the Vatican, which has each country's troops, with around 10,000 troops from each country. Wait, how much countries are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Wait. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wait, I came out losing count. Hold on. 14 countries. I think you can scold me in the comments for this. Okay, so 14. That means 10,000 from each country. That's 140,000. Dang, flippin'. Okay, 140,000 troops are on this giant front line. All right here is just a giant front line. There's a giant battle going on currently, going across this entire coast. Not coast. This entire giant army. The Ottomans only fielded 40,000. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. Across 4 places where they are trying to prioritize army. They left their giant hole right here. They're using this hole now to split these armies into 2 and start wreaking havoc on one. Tries to run away, gets attacked by this army. This one hears about it, they try to get them. Tries to get these guys. They get wrecked by 2 armies. It's a brilliant strategy by literally just pushing them to battle and getting wrecked by 2 giant armies. And now right here, they all try to attack them at once. But now they're facing tons and tons upon tons of armies, so they just end up getting destroyed in this war. Now bringing the Holy Land. I think they control the Holy Land now. Now bringing this up. This giant territory surrenders. Don't mind this, it'll be realistic in a second. In this universe, the Ottomans were going through a giant economic crisis. And when they heard that how stable the Papal States are after winning their crusade against Italy, they wanted economic stability at the time because how they're going through an economic crisis. These people wanted it the most, so they decided to join because they will have a chance to have a better economy. And more though, they have a good economy because they have to manage them, because they only did it because they made them sign a contract that'll give them economic stability. By this time, the Ottomans decide to surrender because they don't want to be whooped anymore. So, okay, so here's the new borders. Tell me if you want me to continue the series. So basically how it ends is the Papal States end up forming a Catholic-dominated Europe, leaving the entirety of the Ottoman Empire in shambles. A new Italy is formed under their rule. Catholics are now prioritized, and this will leave a lasting impact. And the the Ottomans end up trying to help Italians that want to rebel. That does not work. And basically how this entire timeline will end if I don't continue the series is going to end with a giant Catholic empire with every single country in Europe. It will end up with the Vatican eventually. Okay, it will end up with the Catholic Church eventually stealing all of Italy, Switzerland, and even gaining this amount of land from France. World War II will never happen. World War I will never happen. And it will just end up with the Catholics dominating the entirety of the Reich of Europe. And that's basically the end of this timeline if I don't continue the series. Okay, anyways, I'm not going to end with those bad outros like I used to. So goodbye, love you guys, and peace out. Well, I don't have an outro, so this is awkward. Bye.